see this pupper right there? That one? His head just popped up. I'm about to ruin his day a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am officially home from Disney World despite my best efforts of staying there for the rest of my life. We got home 2 sleeps ago on Tuesday and it is Thursday, and I am now unpacking everything. I would have unpacked yesterday, but my sister wanted to go Christmas shopping and yesterday was her only day off this week. I took the rest of this week off of work to just, rest my poor little toes and get everything unpacked and organized and just, relax. Relax. The thing that you don't normally get to do on a Disney trip. So here's suitcase 1 of 4. We have 2 big suitcases and 2 small suitcases to unpack. So I thought I would unpack with you guys and tell you about the trip because it was an absolute blast. Hashtag I survived Tori and Nick's wedding extravaganza 2024. So I'm gonna grab some laundry baskets so I can organize as I go, put everything that I need to film for my haul video in one basket and just organize things to where they need to go in the house, whether that's in the bathroom, the laundry room, the computer room, or, I said laundry room, but I mean to be laundered and whatnot. So anyway, I got some laundry baskets on the side here to put stuff that I need to bring into the computer room to film my haul video. And let's just get started. I have a bunch of Christmas presents in here as well, so I won't be showing any of those. I don't actually know when this video is going to be coming up. It may or may not be after Christmas, because I have a lot of videos to edit and post in the next little bit here. So I won't be showing any of the Christmas presents that I purchased while I was gone, but let's just get started. Also, I might show a few things in this video, random things I purchased on this trip, but there will be a haul video as I mentioned with, the baskets and stuff. If I mention something that you're like, what was that? I want to see more. There will be a haul video. We also got a lot of ornaments. So again, those will be shown in the haul video, but I'll probably be going through just to make sure none of them got damaged or anything in traveling. Here's my bouquet of flowers from the wedding. So pretty. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these yet, but I will find a place for those. So where to begin of this vacation we just went on? Oh, first thing, souvenir glass. Let's make sure this didn't get wrecked. T-Rex glass is good. So where to begin on this trip? It was a crazy trip, hence my hashtag. It was quite the wedding extravaganza, quite the trip in general. Sam and I landed in Florida on Friday, and from there we were picked up from the airport by our good friends Tori and Nick, and Allie and Leah were also there. So it was quite the celebration, though we were getting picked up at airport security, so I couldn't really do much in the sense of a reunion until after we had gone to downtown Disney, because they had already been yelled at a couple times by the security being like, yo, you need to move. So it was a very quick oh my gosh, I'm here you guys are, but no one really got out of the car or anything, but you'll see that you already saw that. First ornament is nice and safe, no damaging on him. We're off to a good start with all the breakable things. Once we were in downtown Disney, it was nice to actually, be able to give all my besties a hug and just be so happy to be with them. We went out for dinner and then we went to Walmart to get a few things, and then we went to the house. The house we stayed in was absolutely lovely. It was a really great option for the amount of people that we had in our group / how long we were there. We did have some issues with the security at the resort house thingy we were staying at. One of the days we were there, we stayed at the Port Orleans Riverside Resort because that's where the wedding was. And Leah wasn't feeling 100%, so she decided to just stay at the resort and get as much sleep as she could. This was the day after the wedding, and the wedding was crazy. We had to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the wedding, So Leah just needed to sleep. So the rest of us left early to go to Epcot for the day, but Leah decided to just meet us there later and sleep. So when she was awake, she tried to go back to the house we were staying at, and security would not let her into the community, even though her name was listed as one of the tenants on the house. That was a whole thing that Tori was on the phone with security trying to talk to them and figure out what was going on. Second ornament looks good. That was a whole thing, and apparently there was another issue with basically the same kind of thing happening with someone else at a different house. So the thing is, it's like we appreciate security doing their job and not letting anybody into the complex who isn't supposed to be there. However, Leah was supposed to be there. And then we had another issue with security where the car we were using for the trip got broken into. Luckily, our car wasn't horribly damaged or anything, but the car across the street, they literally broke the window to get into it. Another ornament, good to go. And then when we brought this to security, security was like, oh, sorry about that, but we're not allowed to patrol the community. We have to stay in our booth at the front. So it's like, so you're very sketchy about who is allowed into the community, but once they're in there, you guys don't give a shit and you just trust them. Luckily for us, nothing was stolen from our car. Our car was also not damaged badly enough that we lost a day or anything trying to get that sorted. But yeah, the house across the street, they got really badly damaged. Their window was broken, so then they had to deal with all of that. And it's like, I don't know what their full plan was for the day, but they probably, didn't want to be dealing with this while on vacation. They probably wanted to head to the park or something like that. But no, their day was ruined, and it's just upsetting. The house itself was very nice and cute and all that stuff. Would I stay there again? I don't know. Probably not. There's just something to be said about staying at a Disney resort. You're treated so much better. Yes, you pay hefty for it, but there's just so many perks about staying at a Disney resort. One of the days that we just kind of were relaxing and taking a break as much as you can on a Disney vacation, I ended up chatting with Nick for a while, and we basically ended up saying, if we were to do this trip again, we're doing it at a resort where we can have free transportation to and from the parks, and we can also potentially have the dining plan so that our food is a little bit cheaper than what we ended up paying. There are people out there that say the dining plan is not worth it. Those people, I think, are crazy, because I've done the dining plan many times in my life. I've also not had the dining plan. And let me tell you, this trip in particular, I wish we would have had some sort of dining plan, because I feel like that's the majority of where Sam and my money went, was just to food and stuff, because the food in Disney is also not cheap. Staying at a Disney resort, you get a dining plan, which is amazing. You can get a dining plan. Suitcase number 2. Speaking of Disney resorts, the wedding itself was held at the Port Orleans Riverside Resort. So the night before the wedding, Tori and the bridesmaids stayed at the resort. Tori's parents were also there in another room. For their wedding, they decided to do a morning wedding and then a brunch reception, which meant bride and bridesmaids, we were up at 3 a.m. the day of the wedding. And I can tell you this much, we did not go to bed early the night before the wedding. Us girls, we were at Magic Kingdom the day before the wedding, and we did not get to the resort until probably around 8 or 9 p.m. And this was already after cutting out one activity that we had planned to do that day. So we got to the resort and we immediately started doing the bridesmaids stuff. And so that was steaming our dresses, getting ready, doing all that fun stuff that, is part of being a bridesmaid's, part of, a wedding. So even though we had to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't think Tori and I were in bed until probably midnight. And I know for a fact I did not sleep that night. If I did, it was maybe an hour, if that. That's being very generous. But with all that being said, I would like to think that the wedding went off without a hitch. I'm sure maybe Tori and Nick have some things that they would like to say that they maybe thought didn't go 100% according to plan. The only thing I can really think of at the top of my head that didn't go 100% according to plan was just that Nick's brother Mitch, who was the best man, was supposed to have the rings, and he did not have the rings on him the morning of the wedding. They were supposed to be left at the house. They were not. We had them with us. I just ran around the resort trying to find either Mitch or Sam, who I knew was with all of the boys, to give them the rings. Once I found them, rings were handed off to them, and that was it. I would like to hope and think that everything went according to what Tori and Nick had envisioned for themselves for their big day. I thought it was an absolutely beautiful wedding ceremony. The reception was very low-key, but still very lovely. Tori had arranged for Fancy, Minnie, and Mickey to come to the reception, which was very, very cool. So we got many pictures with Mickey and Mickey looking just absolutely dapper. I also obviously got to meet a lot of Nick's family and friends that I had never met before. Sam's met a few of Nick's friends. When we went to Ontario in February, Sam hung out with Nick and his friends and they played games together. I don't know if any of the ones who were there were groomsmen or anything, but I know he met some of his friends. For me, it was nice to meet Nick's friends and family, and they were all very lovely. One of Nick's friends, that's a couple, they ended up spending pretty much the entire vacation with us as well. They weren't in the house with us, they were staying at a Disney resort, but they were basically there with us every single day. Nikki and Chris, they were lovely. I had a lovely time with them and getting to know them, and I would not be upset to see them again if I go to Ontario or if we all were to plan another Disney vacation. And of course, don't want to take any shine away from someone very lovely, and that is the lovely Linda, who I got to see many times, obviously, on this trip. I don't think there's any way for me to talk about absolutely everything we did and like go into like a lot of detail about everything, but some highlights of the trip. I mean, obviously, biggest highlight was the actual wedding. It was absolutely amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, so incredible. It meant so much to me that Tori and Nick asked me to be a bridesmaid. Not only that, but asked Sam to MC the reception. When Tori told me over a year ago that her and Nick had been ring shopping, I was genuinely just hoping I'd get an invite. I kind of just thought she has friends in Ontario and she would probably ask them to be bridesmaids. I genuinely did not think she would ask me to be a bridesmaid, and I am so honored that she asked me to be part of her wedding day. My haul basket is getting extremely full. It meant so much that she asked our little group of friends that we made in Disney World 11 years ago so that we could all be a part of this day with her and celebrate with her and just kind of be there to help make this day perfect for her. Because, you know, bridesmaids' responsibilities, we were running around like crazy, as I mentioned, getting the rings to the best man, but also we helped to set up the reception hall, making sure that was all beautiful and ready to go once all the guests arrived. And then when her and Nick arrived after taking all their beautiful pictures, we were there just making sure everything was set up and hopefully as perfect as that they were hoping it would be and dreaming it would be. It's still crazy to think that it's all over. Like, the whole trip itself felt like it was like, just because we were doing so much, the whole trip just felt so crazy in the sense that it was like, hey, remember that thing we did a month and a half ago? Oh wait, no, that was only this morning. It just felt so crazy, everything we were doing. But then at the same time, like, now it's like, oh my gosh, this trip that we had been planning for over a year and looking forward to for so long is now over, and I'm home and I'm unpacking and I have to go back to work in a couple days and I'm depressed about it. But I was talking to my one friend about it, and I was saying how I'm, you know, kind of sad to be home, but she made a comment that was like, I mean, obviously we're going to be sad that we're home, but at the end of the day, being sad that we're home just means that this whole experience just meant so much to me that this is the emotion I have, that it's over. It sucks that it's over, but I mean, I can't even describe how amazing this trip was. We are on to the last suitcase, and this one shockingly feels pretty light. I must have already pulled a few things out of it, which I know I did actually, because this is the suitcase we put our toiletries into. More highlights of the trip besides the wedding day. Obviously, probably the second biggest highlight of the trip was building my lightsaber at Savi's workshop. I have wanted to build a lightsaber since I found out that that was a thing. I didn't for a long time because I did not think there was any way for me to get it home because I have to fly home. So I was like, okay, one day in the future when Sam and I actually make a trip and drive down to LA, which we have discussed and thought about doing something like that. It'll be at that point in time that I will make a lightsaber, because I won't have to worry about bringing it on a plane or anything like that. I was also just kind of worried because I know there are things where they specifically tell you not to pack in a carry-on, like little kids' plastic swords and stuff like that. You have to check those kinds of things. So I was just kind of worried, like thinking, okay, this is something I'm gonna have to check because it could kind of be seen as a weapon. How am I gonna ever check a lightsaber? People check like skis and stuff like that, but you know, these things are expensive. So I was just very worried about it getting it damaged. But then Nick told me that he had built a lightsaber many years ago when him and his brother went to Disney World. And he said he had absolutely no issue getting it on the plane. They either say that they will carry it in their, like, I forget what it's called, like an umbrella cabinet or something like that. What I ended up doing was I brought it to my seat, and then once the overhead bin kind of across from where I was sitting was basically full, that it was going to get closed, I then just went and put my lightsaber with all the bags and stuff just in front of all of the bags. Worked out perfectly. My lightsaber made it home, no problem. I've already been showing it off to people because I'm absolutely obsessed with it. That was probably the second highlight of the, first highlight, wedding. Second highlight, getting to just be with my best friends for like so long and spend so much time with them, especially like where it all kind of started for us, because we haven't been back there, like all four of us. I went back to Disney World and Leah was still working there at the time, so I got to see Leah. I went back there with Tori. Tori's been there with Leah. I think Allie's been there with Leah, but we haven't, the four of us, been there together ever. We haven't even been on a Disney trip together because Leah wasn't able to come to Disneyland with the three of us when we went in 2019. So like that was a highlight, just getting to spend so much time where we all kind of met. So that was highlight number 2. And then highlight number 3 was probably my lightsaber, but also some other highlights. We did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, which I have done before, but I love the history of the Disney parks and stuff. So I had so much fun getting to do it again. I'm pretty sure I've unpacked my last ornament. I'm pretty sure, and it looked good. I know there's one more mug I have yet to unpack in here. So I think that's the last like very breakable thing. The tour guide we got was different than the last tour guide I had, and she was just as amazing. And even though there was some information that I already knew, she still told it really well, or told it in a different way that the first one did not. It was very special. It was very awesome. The tour guide was amazing. I definitely gave her a cast compliment, which, by the way, you can do cast compliments on the Disney app now. So make sure you're complimenting your cast members. It's super easy to do. And I mean, it goes a long way. So make sure you're doing that. One more packing cube, the last mug, and she looks great. I can happily say everything made it home in one piece. It was an amazing trip. I don't know what else to say besides it was amazing. I had the time of my life. I'm sad that it is over, and all I want to do is already start planning the next whatever with my 3 girls. I don't care what it is, whether it's they come here, I go to them, or we go back to Disney. But whenever our next trip happens, I am very excited for it. I will obviously vlog whatever I do with them. Already miss them very much. I missed them from the moment we all started kind of parting ways. Leah had to leave first because she had a very early flight Tuesday morning. So Leah, we had to say goodbye to Monday night, and that was already very hard. Allison is actually still in Disney World. She decided to extend her vacation and stay until tomorrow, actually Friday. So she's still there. She's just having a nice relaxing alone time by herself. Solid choice, I can say, after that trip. I'm glad I took a couple extra days off of work. They're needed. So we said goodbye to Allie in the morning when we were all kind of like getting ready to leave the house. Nick ended up driving her to her new resort that she was checking into. So we all said goodbye to her before Nick drove her there. And then me, Tori, and Sam got the house cleaned and packed up. Nick got back. We packed up the car. It was a fun game of Tetris. And then the 4 of us just kind of drove around, went to 1 or 2 more locations. We went to 2 different Disney outlets, which again, you will see what I got in my haul video. And eventually they drove us to the airport and I had to say goodbye to Tori and Nick. I don't think it is ever going to get easier saying goodbye to those girls. I just love them so much. They've been such a large part of my life for 11 years. I've known them longer than I've known Sam. I love them very dearly. And like I said, it just meant so much to me that Tori asked us all to be a part of her wedding day, because it's a really big day for her to want us there to support her in her relationship and her new marriage, and then trust us to, get everything ready for the day. I guess on that note, I'm unpacked, kind of. This all still needs to be put away, but it goes in other locations and I'm not going to film that. So that's it. After I'm done putting these little things away, I will be filming my haul video. So that will be coming either next week or the following week, depending on my scheduling. But that is going to be it. I'm done unpacking. Does this mean I'm officially home? I'm officially no longer on vacation? Kind of, a little bit, because I still have today and tomorrow off of work. So kind of a little bit still on vacation, but not really. I am home. I'm sad about it, but now I have to, get back to real life, work, laundry, all that fun stuff. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Friday and I would love to have you here. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.